Hi everybody! So it's time to find out the next 5 books I'm going to be reading. Now obviously because we're at the 20th of December, this is going to flow into the beginning of next year. But you know, as I announced last year, my plan is just to get through my to be read books, which could take multiple years. So I'm just carrying on as I'm carrying on. But I'm going to do a separate video after I have announced these sort of between Christmas and New Year, announcing what the next 25 books are going into my priority jar. But as you may remember, I have got 4 books left, but this is a 5-book announcement. So I decided to add one to the jar, and originally I had kind of said about it being one of the advent calendar books I hadn't read yet, read before, should I say, and then something came up. And I ended up buying a book last week, which I haven't told you guys about, because it is driving me up the friggin' wall. So I'm like, get the book, read it, you're done, you don't have to think about it anymore. So that's what I've done. And I'm going to have it be first. So the first book, the next book you're going to get a review on is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Now, the reason why is because there has been a drama made of, I think it's a multiple part drama made of the book by Paramount. I don't have Paramount Plus, so I can't watch it. But the thing is that the trailer has been everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I am not exaggerating this. Every time an advert break, it has been there. Every time I've streamed something on like ITVX or whatever, which is the ITV streaming site platform, every time there's an ad break, it's there. Every time I have a YouTube ad break, it's there. Every time I go on Facebook, it is there, and it has been driving me up the freaking wall. So I'm like, for God's sake, just buy the book, read it, have done with it, then you don't have to have it constantly thrown in your face and not know what the heck is going on. And funnily enough, as soon as I bought the book, adverts have stopped. Now you could say, oh, that's because it's been released. It actually got released weeks ago. So the fact that only until last week I was getting them constantly, multiple times a day, and then it's just stopped. I have I don't believe in a higher power or whatever, that kind of thing, but it's just kind of like, it's sort of like, oh, you just wanted me to buy the book, didn't you? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now that I have, it's stopped. So I'm like, okay, just read it and have done, because my bestie, me and my sister's bestie, Sarah, hey Sarah, she said how this is a book that is really divides people. You either love it or you hate it. And I'm like, oh, a Marmite book. Okay, I'm a bit more intrigued now by that. So let's see. So this says, Tiffy and Leon share a bed, but Tiffy and Leon have never met. Their friends think they're crazy, but it's the perfect solution. Leon occupies the 1-bed flat while Tiff's at work in the day, and she has the run of the place the rest of the time. But with obsessive ex-boyfriends, wrongly imprisoned brothers, and of course the fact that they still haven't met yet, it seems their flat share is more complicated than expected. So it is very much tagged as a romance, thing. But yeah, apparently it's a Marmite book. So let's find out what the flat share is all about. So that's going to be your next review. Now the other 4 that I haven't picked, priority reads 2022 are still in this jar. I'm going to pick them at random to find out what order I'm going to read them in. So let's see what these last 4 priority reads of 2022 and the order I'm going to read them are going to be. So here we go. Actually, I'll do it this way, because then that way I don't have an Oodie sleeve right in front of my face. That's the problem with Oodies. Love them, but the sleeves are so massive you can't see anything. Right, okay, here's the first one. And it is The Yellow Wallpaper and Other Stories by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Now, The Yellow Wallpaper is one of the creepiest stories, just chilling stories that you'll ever come across. And my sister, I think, saw a play of it or something, like well over a decade ago or something like that, or it might have been something that she studied at school. And I remember her telling me about it and how freaky it is. And then in recent years there's been a film version that's come out which I didn't get to see, unfortunately. I think it might be a French film, or at least a French production film, in English. And yeah, and then I've got a horror collection where Anne Massey read it, and it is so terrifying. And her ending laugh, oh my god, sends chills through my body every time I hear it. But yeah, I've never read the actual story, and I'd like to read more of Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And it just so happened the Yellow Wallpaper comes in a collection of a load of her short stories. So yeah, so the second book will be The Yellow Wallpaper and Other Short Stories by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Okay, what's number 3? What's number 3? Oh, let's go for this one. Number 3 is, if I can open the bit of paper, I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. Okay, so this is a classic book which I have just, it always is there. It's always there, but I've never gotten around to it. And funnily enough, there is a BBC radio drama of this that I've really wanted to listen to, but I've never listened to. You know, it's on my wish list. It's been on my Audible wish list for ages, and I actually have an Audible credit at the moment. I think I know what I'll be using it for, with Holiday Granger from Strike, and I love Holiday Granger, and I think Toby Jones is in it as well, and Toby Jones is such a good actor. So it says, Cassandra Mortmain lives with her bohemian and impoverished family in a crumbling castle in the middle of nowhere. She records her life with her beautiful bored sister Rose, her fading glamorous stepmother Topaz, and her little brother Thomas. Oh, that was quite a buzz from my phone there. Made me jump. And her little brother Thomas, and her eccentric novelist father, who suffers from a financially crippling writer's block. However, all their lives are turned upside down when the American heirs to the castle arrive, and Cassandra finds herself falling in love for the first time. So there we go, I Capture the Castle, written by Dodie Smith, who, there's a bit of trivia about Dodie Smith, which I always forget, and it always comes up in like quizzes at my work whenever we do quizzes related to Disney, and I always forget it, but I always remember when I'm not doing the quiz. And that is Dodie Smith wrote the 101 Dalmatians book, which is what the classic film is based on. I don't like the classic film, well, I will admit that, but that's by the by. But yeah, I've never actually read any Dodie Smith, so number 3 is I Capture the Castle. Okay, number 4. We've only got 2 pieces of paper, so let's just see which one I pick. Oh, I just picked up both of them. Okay, I've got this one. Number 4 is Notre-Dame de Paris by Victor Hugo. Otherwise known as The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I haven't read any Victor Hugo since Les Miserables, which was a few years ago now, and I really loved that book. So yeah, that would be really interesting. So in the vaulted Gothic tower of Notre Dame lives Quasimodo, the hunchback bell ringer. Mocked and shunned for his appearance, he is pitied only by Esmeralda, a beautiful gypsy dancer to whom he becomes completely devoted. Esmeralda, however, has also attracted the attention of the sinister archdeacon, Claude Frollo, and when she rejects his lecherous approaches, Frollo hatches a plan to destroy her, which only Quasimodo can prevent. Victor Hugo's sensational, evocative novel brings life to the medieval Paris he loved and mourns its passing in one of the greatest historical romances of the 19th century. So, yeah, so number 4 is Notre-Dame de Paris. And that leaves only one book, which I am so excited for. And I actually wanted it to be one of the first that come out of the jar, and it's become the last, which is just, sod's law, that's what would happen. But that's the thing, when I pick at random, I don't know what I'm going to get. And that is Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braden. So Lady Audley's Secret is caused such a scandal when it came out. And if you check out Stephen Fry's Victorian Secrets, there is an episode that's all to do with crime and such, and he talks about Lady Audley's secret. I'm just gonna put the jar down there. And yeah, it caused such a scandal when it came out. So it says, in the outlandish, outrageous triumph of scandal fiction, a new Lady Audley arrives at the manor. Young, beautiful, very mysterious. Why does she behave so strangely? What exactly is the dark secret this seductive outsider carries with her? A huge success in the 19th century, this book revels in the anti-heroine. With her good looks and her hidden past, she embodied perfectly the concerns of Victorian age with morality and madness. So yeah, I do love the Penguin English Library collection. Look at that beautiful cover. So yeah, it's Lady Audley's Secrets. So in the order that I will be reading them and you'll be getting reviews as, we have The Flat Share, The Yellow Wallpaper, I Capture the Castle, Notre-Dame de Paris, and Lady Audley's Secret. As to how many I'll get through these by the end of the year, I honestly don't know. We shall see. It depends on how I do. But yeah, it's no problem if it goes into 2023 because, you know, as I said, I'm just trying to get through my to be read list, which could take years. But yeah, we'll just see how we go, and I hope you're looking forward to those book reviews. And yeah, so I will be back, most likely will be for my next book issue reveal in a couple of days. But yeah, well, I'll be back obviously with my review of Flat Share when I am done. And if I don't get that review to you before Christmas, I hope you have a lovely time. Happy holidays, anyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas, and yeah, have a wonderful time with your friends, your family, your loved ones during this time of year. All right, guys, bye.